I'm on a date tonight, so I'll have to just up it good. No, I'll just do it in front of her. Shouldn't
Going, he's kept going, he's scored! Oh, Stockport pressure. And the header into the back of the net. That's Palmer. Played in the game. And a superb goal. Johnny did it. Lisa! Rose tries to get the ball in. Wilkinson! It's a 5-star performance from Stockport County.
All right, we got a small house, but we got a big bloody heart, I tell you.
Reading at home. Oh, very good, that Hannah. Well done. Reading at home. I'd rather be reading at home. Am I right? Oh, God. Oh, it's gone mental already. Hello and welcome to the 73rd episode of SK3 TV, the show for the thinking county fan. As long as what that county fan is thinking is, yeah, it's not great, but it's not that bad either. Like, if you've watched Chernobyl, then it's very much for you. It's fine. Yes, here we are here every Sunday between the hours of 8 and 9:15-ish, talking all things what are about county and some things what are not. Are we not, Hannah?
Yes, probably.
Yes.
I don't know what, but yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, good. Yes.
We'll talk about some stuff. I'm being late shamed again. What was I not here incredibly early tonight?
Were we not both here incredibly early?
We were both here incredibly early. And the only reason that we didn't start on time was because of that screenshot that found its way onto the screen. Because I've worked out a way to have screenshots.
Say we got hacked.
That seems to be the thing, doesn't it?
That's what people. We're probably the first people to ever get hacked and not post pictures of willies, because that normally seems to be what people do, and then they say they were hacked.
All my screenshots. Yeah, it'd be like, and you get those emails and they're like, I can see the filth that you've been watching. And I'm like, Haley. Yes, stats bomb. It is incredibly filthy, but
it is very filthy. We're full stats bomb. They should probably sponsor us or something. Stats bomb, I think.
I think they've probably got bigger fish to fry than us.
But if it's going to be like that, maybe we won't mention them. Maybe we'll just refer to them as our undisclosed stats provider,
data provider. Yeah. But if anyone, what's he called? Nuts, KNUTS. I'll find what he is on Twitter. But basically the guy who set up Huddle. So he was one of the ones who was at Brentford originally when they were like the only club that were big on data. Ted Knutson, that's what he's called. And what he does quite often after big games, like all the European games, he'll take like some of the things that I talk about, like the race charts and things like that. He'll say like post the race chart, but then talk about it in the context of the game and bring data to life, which is what we do every Sunday night.
Yes, bringing you to life. You, the viewers and listeners. I was
going to say I'm half dead.
We're all half dead here, Hannah. It's all right. It's fine. It's just our default. This is you this weekend are living what basically every weekend is for me. For some of us.
I think I was poisoned yesterday.
It's the only explanation.
I don't want to slander the 1883, but there's something in the wine that doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, fantastic advert for Counties Hospitality there. I went to hospitality for 3 hours and came out absolutely trolleyed. And it's a picture of you doing your best compo face.
I can't remember what time it was last night. It wasn't late, but I was sat on the friendly bench
Yes.
outside the ground and was like talking to Reading fans, and was like, "This is it. This is what I do now. Hang out on benches on Saturday nights, drunk."
Well, Friday night after Foodie Friday, I stayed in one of Stockport's premium hotels,
Oof.
and I saw in the lift
Yeah.
as I was going to the room, there were Reading fans in that hotel, and
Oh,
I very
gosh.
nearly at like 3 a.m. I very nearly like did the whole fire alarm trick. Then I realised that it only really works if it's the players and not the
Yeah.
fans.
I
I
wonder
went
where
back to bed.
away players stay when they play.
Usually the Village Hotel in Cheadle, usually.
Oh, really?
More often than not, yeah.
I mean, it's all right. It's got Starbucks, hasn't it? Which goes in its
Which I'm
favour.
sure
But
is the main
otherwise,
consideration for them.
I don't know. I suppose there's not really anywhere that's not like central Manchester, is there?
No, yeah, and the Village Hotel is a chain as well, so they'll have probably stayed in other.
It is. Do you remember when we had that ridiculous heat wave a few years ago, and everything like the roads were melting and the trains weren't running, and it
Yeah, it's
was
amazing.
yeah. I went and stayed. Took the girls and went and stayed in the Village Hotel because there was air conditioning, and they went in the swimming pool. And
That's a really good idea, that.
It was really good, and I used my hotels.com free nights, so it wasn't even as indulgent as it sounded, but I totally would have paid for it. It was brilliant.
I'm gonna start doing
Like
that.
one of the
When
best
this
things I've ever done.
next heat wave comes around, I'll be doing that. Right, let's do some administration after this. Yes, we are, of course, sponsored by Blackbird Kitchen, on the pans at Gorilla Manchester, on the grills at Impossible Manchester, and on the fryers at Lens Chippy Droylsden. Hannah, what should people do if they're watching or listening or reading?
Like and subscribe, and whatever that thing that someone keeps telling us about that I've still not checked, the hyping thing on.
Woo woo!
I mean, honestly, in my head, that's what happens when you click that button. Like the little like arms up emoji comes up.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's what I assume. I don't know what it does, but somewhat like
We all need
someone
more.
pops up and says, "Don't forget the
We all
hype
need
button."
more of that in our life. Don't forget the hype button. I can't believe there's more to add to the admin. Tomorrow, Monday, not only will this be getting released at 6 a.m, but Monday evening sees the release of my chat with Robin Richards, Dutch Uncle's bass singer and composer. We had a little chat at Stockport, but usually aim for like 10-15 minutes with these episodes, and it's about half an hour long.
Nice.
In the edit, yeah. I would quite happily have still been there now talking music if I didn't have other responsibilities in my life. I would genuinely still be there now, and it would have gone on for like 5 days, and that would have been fine by me.
Oh,
right,
that's
so
good.
that will be out tomorrow, and also we've got a new drop on our playlist, courtesy of Jonathan the Geordie Hatter show from last week. Lots of new songs to add, so that'll be going up tomorrow as well. It's all happening Monday. You can tell it's my day off.
I've got We Do Not Care Club announcements whenever you're ready.
This is well, you just beat me to it because I was just about to throw over to that. So
right,
it's time.
Hang on, let me suit up.
Get your specs on.
Right, yeah, I've got the pen. I'm genuinely concerned about the pen situation and the my teeth. So I can't she does this really cool thing where she makes a very good noise. Right, you ready?
Ready?
Got some axes to grind. It turns out that hungover, I am really, really productive, but also really mean. Meaner than normal. So, you ready? Okay.
Sorry, I just sneezed in there. I have a sneeze.
All right. Welcome. And I've changed the name of it as well. It doesn't make sense, but anyway. Welcome to today's meeting of the We Do Not County Club. This is a meeting for all new and existing members of the We Do Not County Club, and here are today's announcements. We do not care how many drums there are in the Cheadland. when we start winning and don't have anything to complain about, we can have Battle of the Bands as a secondary entertainment, and the best person can win, and they get to be the drum until they fuck up and they get replaced, because that's what we do apparently. I may or may not have placed an order on Amazon, and also Temu as a backup, because you never know, for 5 more drums. And if anyone wants to collect them, I was saying before the Blackpool game, but that might be a bit optimistic. Anyone who wants to join in, take a drum. I feel like, everyone's always going on about the atmosphere. So the more drums, the better. It's not fair that one person gets to have all the fun, and, it's all about atmosphere. Yeah.
We've all seen Stomp, haven't we? I
Yeah.
mean, if Stomp had just been one person with a bin lid, it wouldn't have had the same success that it had.
No. Right. Next. We do not care that we drew again. If we'd have won, though, it would have been our best start to a season in 30 years. So, when it's all doom and gloom and, people appearing in the comments saying that League One is easy, I mean, let's see. But as it is, we are 1 point off where we were this time last year. And the next 2 games, like in the sequence, we got 1 point from. So we need, if we get 3 points from Huddersfield and Blackpool, which you can't, like, it has to be one or the other. Like, there needs to be a win in there, basically. We'll be ahead of where we were last season. And just to, throw things in, Carl Wotton, not Bobby Poynton, for anyone in the comments who supports Bradford, is the top scorer in League One. And Kyle Wotton and Ollie Norwood are joint top for assists. But yeah, things are awful. We do not care where loyalty points come from. Getting 5 points for a ladies' game isn't going to be the difference between getting tickets and not getting tickets for an away game at some point this season. Gobby in the comments is saying that Bobby Poynton also has 5 goals. He does, but he doesn't have as many assists. So that's good, Liam. Also, we do not care that I'm wearing pajamas. Like I said, I was poisoned last night. You're lucky I'm here at all. Right. I think that's everything. That concludes today's announcements of the We Do Not County Club for all new and existing members.
Best one yet. Best one yet. There was an extra frisson was added to it, I think.
Yeah.
With the whole hangover thing.
I'm going to get drunk every Saturday night just because it's more fun. I can take these off again.
Yeah. Everything's more fun. Right, we will get on to the football, because that's, I suppose, why we're here. So we might as well get on to it after this. So you touched on it in the We Do Not Care Club. With every week that goes by, it seems like we have a number of drums that is increasingly unpalatable to me. Some of us don't really want 1, so for us to now be 3.
I didn't.
I'm waiting for the day I'm tempted to get a drum and take it in the main stand and just film the fallout. I think that's what needs to happen next.
Well, the thing is, like, there was similar uproar when the drum popped up in the pop side years ago, and now they just exist. I mean, I didn't hear 1 drum yesterday, let alone 2 or 3 or however many there were in the ground. I don't see why it's an. I mean, I do see why it's an issue, because I am of sensitive audio tendencies.
We don't like being overstimulated, do we, Hannah?
No, and I especially don't like it when like you used to do rounds at primary school, like when someone would start singing and someone else would start singing. That's basically my Saturdays in the pop side. So no, I didn't enjoy the drum in the pop side when it started, but now I don't even really notice it. And I didn't wear headphones yesterday because there was no one shouting in the main stand, so
No, there won't be.
didn't have to be antisocial.
There will be no shouting in the main stand until I rock up for Blackpool at home with my drum.
Well, me and Kate had a little bit of a sing-song, and because we were very adjacent to the bench, I like to think that they heard us, singing along, giving them a little bit of energy.
Yeah, and it definitely showed in the performance. So the performance for all the talk of us only being able to play for 45 minutes, if we're going positive, we played for an hour this week. We had a good solid 60 minutes where I thought, oh, we look fully in control here, but we're still not putting our chances away. And then lo and behold, bang.
Well, so arguably the race chart would say that we basically stopped just before half time, and then we started again on the 60th minute, which makes perfect sense because we conceded in the 70 something.
Yes, we did famously, and it was another one of those. I mean, we'll start with the goal, I suppose. I thought we controlled the first half very, very well. We looked. Ollie Norwood looked set to put in possibly his best performance for us, but then tailed off a lot in the second half for me. The goal, though, was very. It's very fascinating, that gap between the goal going in and people realising it's gone in. And we had a bit of that yesterday because no one around me seemed to know it had
really?
gone in. We saw the players celebrating. Yeah, it's very strange.
Oh, no, see, we were... No, I think I was actually paying attention and realised it had gone in, which is not fully usual.
No. Well, we'll see if that just carry. Well, it's not like it helped us, though. It's not like it's a lucky omen, is it? Like you.
No, although we missed it in the admin section, but I would like to point out that I do still have 100% unbeaten record in the 1883 with no more 1883s booked. So, just saying.
Find out and buy me a coffee link in the comments in the episode description. Sorted.
Yeah, so
but it very much was. I mean, I think there was. Do you think there's an element of people expecting us to just turn up and roll Reading over based on their league position and what happened last season?
I would have hoped not, because obviously, last season they were still subject to various transfer embargoes. They were still under the clasps of Die Young, and obviously all of that changed at the end of last season. So, they like Hebe Matonen, who Kenny did. I don't
know what happened to Kenny there.
It was like and it prompted there's only one Kenny Boxall.
Yeah.
A brother who plays for, I want to say, Swindon.
Yes, that rings a bell.
So yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, so oh no, the dogs appeared at the door. Can you see him? Yeah, so they really strengthened over the summer. I didn't realise until yesterday that Jack Marriott had gone there. And Jack Marriott was Wrexham's golden child for a good portion of last season until he got injured. And he obviously, as a goal scorer, did well, but was definitely one of the stronger players on the pitch for them. So I think, yeah, it would be really easy to say, yeah, we expected to do well against them. But I think Reading on those teams that even that season that they got the points deduction, without that, I mean, even with that, they were like still mid-table. So when things start to go well, I think we should expect them to be contenders, and played decently
Yeah,
yesterday.
it's even last season they put in some very good performances at times last season. It was just they just didn't seem to have a plan B. If you
No.
worked out how they're going to play, you'd beat them, as we did twice quite easily.
Yeah, and I mean their goal ultimately was down to a defensive error. They, even when they scored, they didn't look like scoring really, and didn't. Their XG is somewhere under 1. Like it kind of goes against, whereas ours was over 2. So that's very much how the game should have gone. As we're learning, the more and more we interrogate the stats, and Charlie was before the game was saying that there are games that we've got points from that by rights we absolutely shouldn't. And I think when in that context, when we look at compared to last season, I think we were just happy to not be losing every game in a higher league. So I think there's some expectations to be managed, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. And I think the difference this time as well is that our home and away record is exactly the same. So in terms of wins, draws, losses, we've only lost 2 games. We've not lost since the Plymouth game, which feels like it was a really long time ago, but it was the beginning of the month. And the difference this time is clubs like Bradford have been winning week in, week out. Stevenage, both of them have got like 1 loss. That's the difference to last year. The points of the teams at the top is higher, I think, than it was. Well, obviously it was than last year, if we're on nearly the same.
Yes. So, I mean, I suppose the headline is it's not full on. I mean, the way there's some of the things I've seen said, not just this weekend, but pretty much since the season started, you would think we were like struggling in the bottom 4.
Yeah,
We're not. It is very much. I mean, you look back to for all the picking out of players defensively last few weeks, which started with Owen Moxon. We've had Brad Hills picked out. We've had Corey Adai picked out. Ethan Pye picked out yesterday. There's been very little picking out attacking players. So for me, a lot of yesterday hinges on that Jack Diamond chance fairly early in the second half. He's through. The keeper doesn't seem to fancy going down. So you think, well, if he puts it under the keeper, that's a certain goal. At the time when he had that chance, you'd think, well, we can see the game out if we're 2-0 up there. And Jack Diamond is one who was singled out in the post-match interview in terms of his despite his performances being good for the most part, it's his numbers that he's not weighing in with those goals and assists. And considering, as Dave Chandler said, the positions he finds himself in and gets himself into, he should be offering a lot more in terms of goals and assists. It just seems that there's been points where it almost seems like the season ending last year was detrimental to him because he seems to have come back we've seen flashes of what we saw in the second half of the season, but in terms of end products, he's gone back to how he was a year ago, which is a shame. When we need, and that'd be fine if other people were stepping up, but they're not.
And Ethan Pye's header was like statistically I can't remember what the metric was, but like XG shots was the biggest chance that we didn't take advantage of either. Should we have a look at the pass network?
Yeah, I always want to look at the pass network.
So the really interesting thing about this is that if you look at it overall, so like this is obviously first half versus second half, which is really interesting because every week, and I'll try and do an audio descriptive version. So what we see, what this map is showing us is that in the first half, we are playing, it's like a hexagon pretty much in terms of play is wider. It's people are more spaced out, generally kind of more progression from further back. Whereas in the second half, we are playing much further forward. The chances are cut, like Ben is doing more work in terms of distribution and getting those passes forward. But Ollie Norwood and Ben Osborne, to a certain degree, are playing less of a role, and that passing is being shared. And I saw quite a lot of comments and people saying yesterday that the midfield looked really tired, and you can absolutely see why when collectively, if you combine these two, there is a massive orange Ollie Norwood circle in a similar place to where it is in the first half. There is a bright red Odin Bailey circle just in front of it that's very, very thick. So that means that lots of passes are coming through him, but he's also generating lots of opportunities for scoring. And then you've got a Jack Diamond red circle. So you remember when we were talking before and I said the colours have changed? That's because they're so different when you look at the first half and the second half. Combined, you're like, how on earth did we not win this? So can you see my pointer if I do this? Can you see my pointer on the screen like it's a lecture? And
Let me make it big. No, I can't.
hang on. Oh my God, does this work? No, that's just moving it around. Never mind. We'll play with that for next week. So there is a bright red, very heavy Jack circle just on the corner of the box, essentially, or a little bit further back. And both Ben Osborne and Ethan Pye have much heavier yellowy orange circles. So this kind of very dispersed play that we've got on the right hand side, you've got Brecky kind of much further back. For me yesterday, I think there's still no goals at the end of whatever he's doing, and the stats are there. We're continuing to swap Nathan Lowe on for him. We know Nathan Lowe is playing, although they have been the same player in the past, they are not this season. But everything, like Benno's circle across the two halves, and obviously came off in the last 15 minutes or so, is a solid circle. So they are using him as a target man. Everything's coming to him, but we just haven't got the finishing.
Yeah, that's been it. You just do get the sense that he needs that goal now, because the amount of chances he's had. I mean, there was another one. Was it one or two chances yesterday? Yeah, it's just a case of we just breaking off. Shortly, thanks to Dan Malt in the comments for flagging this up, but we have had a drum update in the Facebook group.
God, if it's not like an so Corey Dye's been posting lots on Instagram this week, but it's all been about his goalkeeping gloves. Each time I've been like, yes, let's go, but no, it's just his range of goalkeeping gloves.
Just waiting for more drama. I don't know whether to play one of the Facebook jingles for this. No, I don't think either of them really fit. It's just a shame that feature's died. So this comment on a post about the drums is from, I'm presuming, someone who works at the club. All drums usually are authorised by safety officers, and I can advise that they were not requested. This will be monitored moving forward, as it was not brought to our attention that other drums had got in.
Oh my God. You see, that just makes me want to go to the Early Learning Centre and buy an entire musical instrument set. And we're going to have xylophones. We're going to have...
We have rogue drums. This is amazing.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
This is the type of drama I live for.
Yeah. Oh, is it Suzanne, Dan? Is it Suzanne?
It is. Yes. I didn't want to. I don't know why I didn't want to name her really, because her name is on the Facebook post that anyone can see. So yeah, very much something. A player I would like to pick up for all the complaining about our deficiencies at the back. There's a player who seems to have gone under the radar who I think has done very well. I'm sure you'll pull some stats out to tell me that in fact I'm wrong.
I've got like more
more
stats today than I ever have. I could just sit and read them. Maybe I'll do that later. I know I keep saying that I'm going to do it, but the stuff that I've got from yesterday, because I was hungover and ready to do the podcast an hour before it started, got shitload.
Definitely do this every week. So that player for me is Joseph Olowu, who I thought had a bit of a shaky start, but he was next to other players who were having a shaky start, so it's understandable. But he just, you know, obviously strikers love scoring. Strikers are greedy; they love scoring goals. But you just get the feeling that he genuinely loves putting a tackle in. He loves winning it. The way he stands tall after he's won a header, like it's the proudest moment of his life. I love him. I think he's been fantastic. And it does almost feel like we're sort of finding that formula in defence, which considering we've got like a Finland international to come back from injury as well.
Oh, I have an update on that. So injury updates. This was before I had much more wine, but I did text them to us, didn't I? I was like, in case I forget. So Malik Mothersill was out with back spasm. I don't know if that's what he has, because Charlie's talked about his injections before, hasn't he? So whether the two are related, I don't know. So that was Malik Mothersill. Callum Camps, basically it was described as a setback in his kind of return. My suspicion is he's done too much too soon, potentially. But he will be back in October with R2, with who was
Teo,
the one, Teo, and somebody else.
Owen Dodgson, you'd hope.
Owen Dodgson. It was Owen Dodgson. Well done.
Yeah.
There was no mention of Lewis Bate, who it was pointed out should be doing a lot of minutes in the courtyard at the moment.
Yeah.
Not to be seen.
No, I was looking back midweek to see if he'd done it this year. I was very close to making a chart of which players have made the most appearances. Do you know who else hasn't made an appearance?
Laka will never be beaten. Like,
yeah, he's just like they should have a statue of him up in the courtyard, like up on that stage. Yeah, for that. Corey Adai has never done the courtyard. Disgraceful. Get rid of him. Awful. Terrible. Even the fact that he's been available for every game.
So it was yesterday. It was Andrew Ogan and Ashton Mee who, bless them, then got co-opted into bringing a birthday cake out for Emma, which I shoved spotlight, those firework like things in. I had at least they gave it to the goalkeeper, like safe hands.
yeah. Keep
me like walking behind, kind of giggling, like, how is this my life? If I thought I was going to be, a high-end footballer, and instead I'm carrying birthday cakes out.
Well, I bet Ashton Mee has had experience of how to do that, given the family business.
The catering. So but that was their job for yesterday afternoon, which was like, honestly, how lucky are we that that happens, that we support a club where that kind of thing happens. And there was a bloke who's, I think it was his 40th, and his family had got him a shirt with George and 40 on the back, which he looked absolutely thrilled about. But that was presented to him by Charlie, and it was just, I love that things like that happen.
You could say it was very wholesome, couldn't you?
Very wholesome. I was described this week as wholesomely chaotic, which
that's good.
I quite like. I think I meant to put it in my Twitter bio, but forgot. Quite like that.
Can we have that as a review for the pod on one of the posters?
Yeah. I don't think we're that chaotic at the moment. We've gone downhill.
I think it's the stats.
Probably. Right.
I
Shall
think it's the stats and recording remotely. I think it's a
Okay,
combination of those
right.
two.
So I am going to give you some positives and negatives of the game. Okay.
Okay.
So positives. Do you want to know? Let's do negatives first. Oh, I don't know. What do you want? What like? You tell me.
Yeah, negatives first, and then we'll have the positive for dessert.
Okay, and then I've got what we need to do to win.
Okay,
I'm
good.
basically pitching for a job at this point. Yeah, I mean, not that I think that I can do it any different, but anyway, negatives. So we've talked about poor finishing and conversion. So opportunities for both Diamond and Woods to score, and we don't take advantage of them, only scored once. Marriott's equaliser in the 72nd minute it was basically Reading's only chance from open play. It was a lapse in concentration that didn't involve Owen Moxon. So, like we've said along, people are human. It happens. It's no one's fault. But if we score more goals, then momentary lapses in concentration don't have such a big impact. We had less possession. It was like 47-53, so barely anything in it. And we know that we have done better over towards the end of last season and the beginning of this season when we have less possession. Still struggling slightly with wing back inconsistencies. So both Osborne and Onyango managed to get forward well, but again, end product, crossing, decision making, let's say, was a bit variable. And again, subs having low impact. So it's not like we've got a bench where they're coming on and they're changing the game. They're coming on and just not necessarily having the impact that they should do. Right. So we've gone down. We're going to go up again. Ready? Right.
Ready.
So Reading. Ready? Oh dear. So we generated 16 shots and 2.16 xg versus Reading's 0.92. So consistently having those higher quality chances, even though they weren't necessarily finished. We've talked in the past, and we've got a graph showing kind of how we are doing against Bradford, like
There
over
we go.
season entirely. And one of the things that we are focusing on is that high press, but also XG from set pieces. And I think it's the Plymouth game where Charlie talked about Nick Conlon and Clint Hill and their responsibility for set pieces, and that's how important it is. So set piece threat, both Ethan Pye and Joe Olowu created good XG from corners, and Wootton's goal came from a lovely cross-in. So key contributors, we mentioned Jack Diamond. So Jack Diamond was heavily involved, 4 shots, 0.71 XG, and then through ball creating, which is, I mean, I don't even know it goes back to those circles, I guess. Odin Bailey and Ollie Norwood together combined really well for the build-up. So Bailey's 3 key passes, Norwood's 4 key passes, and so we're seeing that like on ball value is the stat that's important. Still, at the beginning of the season, we were looking at our press and it was ridiculously high compared to everyone else's. And we said when we played Plymouth also had a very high press. Reading's very high. So Reading's is we were higher, but there was only like 10 or 15 in it versus the 30 or 40 that we were seeing earlier. But that meant that we were forcing Reading into making mistakes, which is important. And generally solid defensively. So you kind of saw that Marriott's goal came from their only chance. Otherwise, we were kind of very good at controlling them. So things to change: be more clinical, stay switched on defensively, better game management after scoring. And we've, said this throughout. I mean, it's becoming a thing, isn't it? That we score first, they equalize, and then we just kind of hope that we can hang on. That wing back delivery, but then also impact from subs. So they're the kind of areas that the stats identify as being important to look at.
I think that would chime. I'd imagine we're not the only ones who have that information. You would hope.
Oh God, no. Yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure they'll be all right. But this goes back to what we were saying before we started. There's the match that we watch as fans, and our kind of key success factor is only the score at the end. And then there is the match that the backroom staff are looking at, that they're looking at, the not just the stats that we've got available to us, but also, all the what do they call it, like the biometrics stats and the stuff from the vests and the tags and the distance covered and all of that. There's a whole load of stuff that we don't see. And like you said, Odin Bailey having a particularly good game. He did look, like, on the face of it, incredibly busy. But then if you look at you take all of the stats from all of the players, he's kind of classed as mid-performing, which is really interesting. So, yeah, I think... they asked me last week on the radio after the Rotherham game. Is it Rotherham? Yeah, it was Rotherham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whether it bothered me what the performance looked like when you get a win. And I said yes, because you need to know where the next win is coming from. And that, I think that's the only thing that worries me at the moment, that it's just the same thing happening week in, week out. And yeah, we're not losing, but we could be winning. And it feels like that doesn't need to be a massive change. It's kind of an incremental change, which, feels comfortable. But it just feels like the same thing every week. Someone who doesn't support county and doesn't follow lower leagues was looking at the stats earlier on, and he was like, how did you not win that game? I'm like, I don't know. It's the same thing every week. It's
and I think it's not just the constant dropping of points; it's the constant dropping of points from winning positions that I think grates
very much
the most. Because we've shown that we can go ahead against teams and take the game to sides, but we're just not staying switched on for long enough.
Yeah. Oh, just before I forget, because I will forget if I don't mention it, I promised Phil Iderson. So Phil Iderson and Darren McAntony do the Hard Truth podcast, and tomorrow, I think, it's not out tomorrow. It's not out until Wednesday, but they're interviewing Mark Stott. So if anyone has any questions that they would like them to ask Mark Stott, I feel like I can't single name him. He has to be like full name. So much of the parish. Then send them to me. I can send them to Phil, or you can. I think he'd put on Twitter on either on his or on the Hard Truth account. So I sent questions over, things like, what was your favourite cup that we've won, and why was it the under-15 Floodlit Cup?
There we go. Now we're talking. That's the only question anyone wants to know the answer to be honest.
I know. Ian's already emailed his question. Yes, that's a really good point, actually. I think Phil put an email address out that people could contact. But
yes, so get on that ASAP, people.
Yes, you do. Like this message is only valid until I don't even know what time they're interviewing. I have got it somewhere. So probably for live people, not
Yeah,
Not
probably. If you're watching live, you have our permission to turn off now and go and do your email because we're nearly done anyway, so it'll be fine. But before we do go for the evening, so you talked, Hannah, about where the next win is coming from. Chances of it coming away at high flying Huddersfield next Saturday, 2 places above us in the table. That's the sort of away game that you tend to look at and think, oh, don't like that.
It's yeah, and then I feel like we don't. I don't think we did. We win one and lose one last season.
Yes, yeah, we lost Boxing Day
Yeah.
to the Lewis Bate own goal and then beat them on Easter Monday.
Yeah. So the thing I would say about Huddersfield this season that should kind of give it, like, we'll look for positives, right? They either win or they lose. They do not draw. They've only drawn once with Burton, and some of their, like, when they've lost, they've conceded 3 goals. Their wins have been they've beaten Stevenage, they've beaten Donny, they've beaten Orient, they've beaten Exeter, and they beat Reading 2-0. I don't know how recent that was, but they lost to Bradford, they lost to Barnsley, and they lost to Blackpool. So they're not, for a team that really invested heavily, they've not, I think, done what they expected to do out of the blocks, nor what other people would have expected them to do. Their playing style is really high in terms of crosses into the box. That's where their goals are coming from. But their goalkeeper has got one of the highest pass lengths in the league in terms of booting it forward. So they're having to do less if they can organise themselves properly, and kind of medium goals from set pieces. So they're at the absolute other end of the scale in terms of high press. Like, so this will be one of those where Charlie says at the end, we forced them to play the way we wanted to play, or we couldn't force them to play the way we wanted to play. It will be one or the other. There's no midpoint here.
Yeah, very much so. It's Ian Dowden with the travel advice as well. Huddersfield Station is closed on Saturday for people interested in that information. For people, also for people travelling to Huddersfield, Jonathan the Geordie Hatter will be live with the away day show. Feels like they're coming thick and fast now.
Yeah.
Oh, it should be. It feels more normal.
I need to apply for leave after Blackpool. I think I'm missing 3 podcasts.
3 podcasts.
Yeah.
God,
I was thinking I could do that thing where I organise replacements and don't tell you, and they just turn up. Oh my God, they could turn up with like a bag over their head, and you have to guess who they are. Yeah. Oh my God, let's do this.
Okay, can I provide a list of no-nos, of vetoes?
No, but I'm not stupid.
Okay, I am.
What do you mean?
I am. I'm stupid enough to let this happen. So if anything goes wrong, it's all my fault. Just know that.
I think it'd be brilliant.
Is right. You can do that. Yeah, feel free to do that. Just
Okay.
do whatever you want. You're the boss. To be fair. So I just press the buttons really. Or the.
I don't even know where I'll be. The first one. What time is it? 3 o'clock. The first one I could maybe do actually, but I'd be doing it from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom. The second one would be. Oh.
You're ringing there.
Someone's ringing me on WhatsApp. Like, I didn't even know it rang on my computer. Yeah, so we'll totally do that. That'll yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. It'll be add a nice frisson of excitement to proceedings. Keep me on my toes. I think we should do that. Yes. Right before we wrap up, we've covered loads tonight. We've covered Reading. We've had the drum situation. Ashton, me, and his Busman's holiday. It's all happened.
Yeah.
What can you ask
Oh,
for? I'm just
and
making a note of that.
Tyler Onyango and Shea Gardner both got their scan certificates yesterday as well. Again, both from like this time last year, I think. Because
Tyler Onyango very much going from, is he a player we need, to actually being our best performing right wing back at the moment, and with an assist yesterday as well.
Yeah, I think his height makes a massive difference. Did I tell you about? I think you've heard about Charlotte's. Charlotte decided if we were going to lose again, she had this whole, and I've got it on video. Should clip it up really because it's quite funny. But she had a back five of the tallest players, and I think Onyango would have been the only one who was playing in position. She had Courier Dye in there, Kyle Wotton, Nathan Lowe, I think. Ethan Pye was in goal because it was just after he'd given Corey a mouthful at the end of the game, and she said he thinks he can do better. Then it was very creative. I liked it.
Oh yeah, we need more of that. We're doing some themed 11s. I think. Yeah. Right. I think that's just about us for the evening, is it not? We will be back next Sunday, talking all things what are about. Is there a midweek game after the Huddersfield game, or am I thinking?
Oh yeah, it's Salford on the Tuesday night, but I'm going to Lola Young, so I will not be at the Salford. Unfortunately,
I will be at the Salford game.
Oh,
I'm going. Yeah. It's just right down the road from my other half's house, so that's handy.
Oh, sorry, I was just dropping that in.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's not to be cryptic about it, is it? People know by now. Everyone who needs to. We've done the hard launch. Sod it. Yeah, I used the phrase hard launch. Deal with it. Right, we will be back next Sunday. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on all our things, because then you'll get the Robin Richards episode tomorrow. Anything else before we go, Hannah? Apart from
good. I'm glad chaos is back.
We needed chaos. Right, say goodbye to everybody, Hannah.
Bye. See you next week.
See you next week.